Hey, good evening, everybody. I am Chuck Rogers, licensed professional counselor and licensed marriage and family therapist.
And I'm Keith Dunn, and I get myself into sticky situations.
Man, he does all the time, and together we're Tabletop Coffee.
Yep, where we are bold and never, ever bitter.
And tonight we're continuing with our series, The Velvet Rope Policy number 5. Just say no. Stay tuned, and we'll talk about it. All right, you have no idea where I was going with this.
Nope, I don't.
But now you do.
Yeah, I definitely do. We talked about that this morning.
Yeah, over coffee this morning, Keith just started unraveling this scenario. And a few years ago, you sensed this thing of, hey, I've got to get out of this. It's not what I'm supposed to be doing with my life.
Sure.
And it was difficult for you to do that. You went from 4.5 days a week, officially on paper, which was way more than that.
Right.
Then you went down to 2 days a week, and now you're at 1 day a week.
Right.
And then you also had to begin to do a lot of stuff on your own.
Right.
And you would have people continuing to reach out to you, hey, please come and take care of our computers, our network system, whatever the case may be. And recently, you were telling me that you had somebody to reach out to you that you hadn't had contact with for how long?
I looked back because I thought it was about 11 months. It was a little over 10 months ago they reached out to me.
Was the last time.
And yeah, so that was interesting. So that's the backstory on the whole thing. And I hadn't done work for this person for about 10 and a half months. And at the time that I did do something for them, I just remoted in, and it was like a half hour's worth of just checking something over, and that was it.
Yeah.
It wasn't anything big. I wasn't going on site. It was just a remote in and check something. So it wasn't a big deal, and I didn't mind doing that. I was trying at that time to manage as much as I could through the process, just because everything was fresh and new.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, things changed, and I've been weeding out people because as this progresses for me, I realize more and more that I have to get further and further away from this technology side of things that I've been using as a crutch, and it has been a crutch. But during that process, I have to make tough decisions.
Really tough decisions.
To let people go. And there are some that I probably will maintain, like Chuck and a few others, for a good while, but I need to get rid of everybody else. So I made that decision to go ahead and get rid of 3 clients last week. I was planning on doing it the week prior to that, but it just didn't work out. My daughter had a baby, so we have our first grandson.
There you go, Grandpa Keith.
Woohoo!
Papa?
Pop Pop.
Pop Pop.
Yep, yes. And Pop Pop. Or Pop Pops. Yeah, either way you go. But so I had to put it off, and I was contacted by this person from the company, and the first time they contacted me was a couple of months ago. I was in Florida, so I couldn't get anything done that they needed. It was something that I would have to be on site for. So I kind of put them off, shuffled through it, and thought, well, maybe I'll just go do it one last time, and got back, and then I heard from them a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it came to the point where I had to make a decision on what I wanted to do. And my decision was to contact this person along with the other people that I was contacting for the week and just tell them, hey, I'm so sorry. I know that you have used me for a number of years, although I haven't done a tremendous amount of work for them over the amount of time. But I'm just at a place in my life where I need to let some of this go.
Yeah.
And move forward in a different direction. And so that's what I did.
And how did she respond?
Responded fine to me. But later I found that she was pretty upset at me.
Angry?
Yeah, probably angry that I got to a point and let their company go. I think, I was talking to you about it this morning. I don't know if technology is just different in that, you have this relationship, you're working on, the data for these people.
Yeah.
It's a more of an intimate, I don't know. I mean, a
Well,
dentist
you
or a
develop,
doctor.
yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, you take care of their work for them, and
right.
you have a personal
It's a personal
relationship to a
relationship.
degree,
Right.
and it means something
It
to
does.
them.
Yeah. And it means something to me too.
Yeah, and the other part of this is that we've talked 1,000 times about it's always about fear and dream.
Right.
Their dream is for their life and their company to go well,
Right.
and the fear button gets pushed, and their fear is that it won't. And
That's
so in the
right.
past, when something goes wrong, they call you, you come, you take care of it,
Right.
and their dream continues, and they're not fearful anymore. So
Sure.
you dumped a big load of fear into this person's life by saying,
Right.
I can't do work for you anymore. And then the response is they don't say, oh gosh, that really scares me.
Right.
They demonstrate how mad they are.
Yeah.
And
And
then,
frustrated they are that they're losing me.
so you sent, email with all their data,
I
all
did.
the information they needed,
Sure.
and some referrals
I
for
did.
people for whom they could reach out.
Right. Which I didn't know a lot of people left in the area who do that type of work. But I did send a couple of referrals their way so that they could. I didn't want to just drop them,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I didn't know how else to do it other than, well, we did talk about that this morning as well, though, and I was thinking, well, what else could I have done? And the only other thing I could have done was to suck it up, go out there, do the work that they wanted me to do, knowing that I don't want to be there.
And possibly it would go wrong.
Right. Possibly something go wrong, and then I'm sitting there thinking, why in the world did I do this?
I know that I know that I know that I know. I should have said no. I didn't. I'm
Right.
in it. And then you'd be mad at yourself as well for saying yes.
That is correct.
Yes. So you made not the comfortable call,
Right.
but you made the best call that could be made.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
But it weighed heavy on me to know that somebody that I had built a relationship was upset at me. But that's not the first person. I mean, we've had a number of people over the past year who were unhappy with the direction that things went, but there was just no other way to do it. It just had to be done that way. And
Well, I'm going to push back on that. There was another way to do
oh,
it.
sure, there was
could
another
suck it
way.
up and
Sure, you could. Yeah.
And you could have done that.
Right.
You know how to work harder. You know how to work longer. You could have done it. You could have taken care of the situation.
I could have.
And then you'd have felt horrible about it.
I would have. So now I feel horrible about it in a different way.
Well, it's not comfortable, but it's acceptable.
It has to be acceptable
Yeah.
because I have to make these decisions that are best for me in this place instead of looking out for someone that, I used to do this type.
Yeah. So you were the bouncer
I
of the velvet
was.
rope, and you said to this person, "I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You can't come in anymore."
Yeah.
You said it softly and gently,
That's right.
and provided other alternatives, but you said no.
Yeah, exactly.
It feels okay. It's acceptable.
Yeah. I said, your hairstyle is bad. Can't come in our club. Doesn't work.
You're not dressed right.
You're not dressed right.
Hey, I hope you liked our content. If you did, would you please subscribe? Because Keith would really appreciate that.
I sure would. And ding that bell so you're notified of upcoming episodes.
And make sure to like it. And also, if you have some examples of times when you've needed to set limits or boundaries or the velvet rope and keep people or things away, give us examples of that. Or maybe your situation is that you know there are some people or things that you need to make sure that aren't part of your life. Give us comments about those too. We really appreciate that. And maybe we'll do a video about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, be sure and share this with your friends.
Thanks, everyone.
Until next time.